Welcome back to the Bright Side Up podcast. We are kind of flipping around a little bit and we are kind of navigating the energy and the wellness space within our own home this week. Now, our conversation with Kim Costa out of Atlanta was so enlightening. And let me just kind of back you up. She kind of rewrote this whole script on how to find the house that speaks to you. There's so many things that like you think you're supposed to do, or you're supposed to decorate this way or live a certain lifestyle this way because other people are doing it. And she really breaks down how sometimes things like that are just not serving you, and to really tap into your own alignment based off of your personality, which I thought was just so fascinating.
It was such a conversation that I actually wasn't expecting. I thought we talked like more just like typical design. She's in real estate, but it went so much deeper. And she shared a personal journey, which is just incredible. You guys will hear. And it's so true. What we surround ourselves with, not just like the people, but the space, and especially your home. You're in it every single day. So she gives us some tactical tips on how to figure out if your home is serving you. We talk through, okay, is it that you need to move, or is it just a renovation, or maybe a rearranging? We even dive into taking a personality test to figure out what is best for you in your home. So very cool conversation. Excited for you guys to hear.
I can't wait to take the personality test because I feel like it's just going to answer so many questions.
No, totally. Well, and I love that she talked about having a personality test for each person in the home and making sure that each person has a part of the home that suits them.
Yes.
Like it's not just one person's place, right? It's got to serve everyone.
That's true, because so oftentimes, it's probably the mom or, well, I don't know. We have some friends who it's the dad who he makes like kind of more the design decisions, but there's always kind of one person that generates more of that choice. Yep. But yeah, like that reminder of everybody needs their own little space, their own like personality within the home. If you're artistic, having like a little art nook, a little art area, a little reading nook area, if you're more into that. I think you're really going to love this episode, you guys. And so let's get into it here. Kim Costa is a top 5% realtor, the author of Live in Your Wheelhouse, and the creator of the Wheelhouse Method, a life alignment framework that helps women ask the question most of us have been too busy to stop and answer. Does my home actually fit the life I'm living right now?
After 27 years in residential design and construction and a deeply personal journey through her own misalignment, Kim knows firsthand what it's like when life looks great on the outside but feels completely off on the inside. That experience became the foundation of everything that she teaches today. Through her book, her podcast, workshops, and her North Atlanta real estate practice, Kim helps women get honest about what is working and what is draining them, and what it would feel like to finally come home to a space that truly feels like them. She lives in the Crabapple area of Georgia with her husband, Rocky, and she believes with her whole heart that your home is one of the most powerful wellness tools you have ever been given. Without further ado, here's Kim. Kim, so tell us your background and what led you to writing this book. Tell us all the things.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, if we want to go way, way back, my parents were human resource executives. And so I always heard at the dinner table, this person's job is in their wheelhouse, or we had to fire this other person because the job was not in their wheelhouse. So the word wheelhouse, which is one word all put together, stuck with me. And I brought that along my life with me, just about like that is something that is meant for them, that they're really good at, and it's a great fit and they can hit it out of the park from there. So that stuck with me, and just hearing like about people's potential and what type of environment would they thrive in. So going on from there, all the things. Worked for Xerox and got trained in, basically this stuck with me for the past 40 years, not to give totally away my age. But the last 40 years, what struck me for the 6 months they trained me in sales is, what are you trying to solve for the client? Exactly what pain point are you trying to solve? It doesn't matter how good the product is unless you're solving a problem for them. And so those two things stuck with me, way early. And then I was in residential construction for almost 30 years and design on the money side, but watching, thousands of people improve their homes, buy homes, etc. And so just watching, observing what matters to people. And then because I was working in the numbers and I'm more of a creative, extroverted person, I was like, I don't want to be behind a door crunching numbers about all this stuff. I want to be out with the beautiful things and the people. So I transferred over into real estate sales, being a realtor. But I brought that human resource development and the finance and all the things I had learned along the way with me. So that gave me a bit of a different outlook than most.
That's like the perfect combination to be a
Yeah.
realtor.
Like it's the wheel of life. It's like, I have experience in all that. So yeah.
And to understand how to read the people. And, it is such an emotional sale. It's not like commercial real estate where it's just numbers, right?
No.
Like residential, this is where your Christmas tree goes, matching their energy. How cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
And Chelsea's leaving out that was also a realtor too. She has a real estate
cool.
license.
I was until the pandemic. And then I moved from Orange County to San Diego and thought, you know what? I'm not going to start over.
Oh my gosh.
But there are times, I mean, listening to you right now, I'm like having the back of my head, should I get back into real estate? It's a fun, beautiful journey of a profession.
Fun. And you got out at the craziest time. I mean, it went wild for a couple of years. So
my team hit all-time highs and I was like, okay, whoops. Oh, well.
Darn.
Going back, I love that you said that you worked for Xerox, because I feel like when I was just getting into the job market, like post-college, there were 3 companies to be hired with if you wanted to like succeed in sales. And one was Xerox.
Yeah.
The other one was Gallo Wine. And the other one was Pepsi.
Oh, Pepsi.
So
yeah.
All 3 of those. And I went into Gallo Wine. But like to get yourself higher in sales, it was like, do you have these 3 on your resume? And that's
yes,
it. Because
totally.
They do such
Still talk about it.
Yes.
I still listed on my LinkedIn as like Xerox sales training. 6 months they trained me.
Yes.
It was like, back then they spent $60,000 training me without me selling one single thing. And that was, we won't say, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. But it provided such a foundation. And I remember those 3 were 3 pillars. Like if you don't have these on your resume, like good luck. So that's awesome. I love that.
Yes.
And also too, how influential your parents were, because we always joke around, like we have, teenagers that like, I hope they're listening to us, but like we were listening to our parents. In terms of like, there's so much going around us, so much inspiration with social media and, just constant like inputs. Was there ever a moment where like things looked good for you, but kind of felt off a little bit? I feel like that's something that people can relate to, because things are looking so good on the surface, so good on social media. But was there a moment that felt good, that looked good but felt off for you?
Yeah. I mean, so totally. So it was before social media, but like in my community, I had like a beautiful house and a horse farm and, athletic, nice looking children. And it was, horses and a swimming pool and, a golf club membership, all the things. Beautiful, beautiful home that I actually designed on my own and developed the property and everything. So it was like, it's got to be perfect. It's exactly what she wants. Well, not so much, because I'm an extrovert, and it was an isolated remote home on 40 acres. I was riding horses, but I'm actually a golfer. I was a controller. I was like a accounting manager for our construction firm, but I'm an extroverted people person who likes to write and design and create things, not crunch numbers for other people who are doing it. But it had to be done. And that's what I was doing. But so what happened was, in this beautiful, beautiful home, I was horseback riding the day after Christmas, 2001. And I fell, the horse threw me. I fell off the horse and I broke my back really, really badly. And so there, like poof, like the beautiful aesthetic home with all the things everybody wanted in our area literally almost crippled me, because I wasn't being aligned with myself. So here's the best part of this story is I love to write. So because I wasn't running around all over the place because it was remote and my kids went to private school and it was like run, run, run. Work was an hour and a half away. It's always in my car, but I couldn't go anywhere. I could barely walk and I was recovering. So I started writing and I wrote the Oprah Winfrey Show and I won an essay contest for the show and got picked. So they called me back. I was like, oh, that's so amazing. Awesome. I'll bring my friends, because the essay was about my friends helping me when I broke my back. And they said, okay, we want to come film at your house. Like record scratch. I was like, what? Absolutely not. I was like, no, first I said yes. And then I was like, oh, no. I'm in a walker. I have 40 acres here. And my house was feeling very misaligned, because the doctor put her hand on my leg and said, I don't know why you're walking. You must have an angel on your shoulder. And that's when I was like, okay, This was like a holler from whatever, serendipity, clarity. The farm was called Clarity Farm. And it was very clarifying that I was doing the wrong things and living the wrong lifestyle. That was the beginning of, doesn't matter how pretty your home is if it doesn't fit who you want to be. And it was not fitting. I was fitting myself into what I thought looked good.
Wow. This is like, I'm like goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just got them myself.
No, that is incredible. Now, how many years back is this?
Oh gosh, 2001. I broke my back. So that's almost 25 years. And then I was on, well,
Yeah, what happened
they
with
still had
Oprah?
us come to the Oprah show. We just weren't interviewed and we didn't get to sit in the front row. We sat in the second row and I didn't tell my friends that should have been us till like
You know what?
2 years ago.
Oh my gosh, no way.
I know.
Well, you went with your gut though, right?
I
Like
did.
there
I
was
like, I
something.
cannot fake this. I'm in
Yeah,
such pain. And like this house is like, I already know I don't want to live here anymore. It's too much.
good for
It's
you.
like, I don't want to muck out stalls when I'm not going to be riding horses. I
Yeah,
want to golf. I would rather, if I recover, I want to golf or like be in a community with other people.
absolutely. So with that, can you explain and talk to us through what you give in the book and like what does living in your wheelhouse life really mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing you have to start with is yourself. So there's 4 M's and that's like the foundation. The framework is in the shape of a house. And so you have a basement, which is the 4 M's, and the middle is the 8 areas of the wheel of life. So before you start anything, you have to align your 4 M's, which is myself, meaning who am I? What's my personality, my values? What do I want in this next stage of life? Like, what makes me happy? Am I doing those things? Second is mastery of the gifts that you were given and that you're good at. Are you doing them? And have you mastered them? Because that's proven to provide joy. And then with those gifts, are you helping other people? That's your mission, the third. And then from there, it's mates, your spouse, your partner, but also your friends. It's who do you surround yourself with? And do they see you and support you or do they sabotage you? And do you let them in your house? Like put some boundaries up so that you can be who you're supposed to be. And then from there, you go into the 8 areas of the wheel of life. You've aligned yourself and now you need to align your environment with what the next stage of your life looks like that you want it to be.
So do you have practical like guides in the book? I mean, I can't wait to get my hands on the book and go through it. So we look at those 4 M's, which that again, I'm like goosebumps.
Yeah.
That is, we could do a full episode just on those 4.
Yeah.
But you have a guideline as to how to identify that and then to go
Absolutely.
through the rest.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. All the things, all your values, your interests, your personality. And then it just explains also the science behind why it's so important. Because if you build an environment, starting with myself, the first step, around someone you're not, which is what I did. You get whispers of like, why am I upset? Like, why when I walk in my house am I feeling this misalignment? It could be sadness, loneliness, anger, frustration, whatever. You'll get these whispers until like you break your back. You can no longer unsee and unfeel that misalignment.
Right. It whispers until it yells.
Exactly.
What is our home like quietly affecting us every day? How is our home giving us these signs? And maybe we realize it, maybe we don't.
Yeah.
How does it affect us?
Well, it's those pain points, which is what I listen for in people. First thing is like, why is it you may want to move or remodel, or like, what is your pain point? Do you not have enough room for your family? Are you having a baby and you have 3 other children and 2 extra bedrooms? And so it's like, what is the pain point? Are you getting divorced and you can't financially manage the house by yourself? And so you need to divide and split your resources. So it's like, what is the main pain point? But those are actually pretty obvious, aren't they? So you asked, how are they quietly undermining you? And that is the feeling you get that you're just going through the motions and you're frustrated because like, it could be something simple. Like, I have 4 kids and 2 dogs and like my laundry room. I need a big old mud room for this in and out stuff. Like my house is a mess and I'm so frustrated because like they just come in and they track dirt through they have nowhere to put their stuff. And that's why they're tracking mud through the house. Right. So it's a frustration that you think I'll just clean it up. But if it's every day and it's like you're coming home and that like the kids are all there or like you and your husband need the same space to work in. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to clean up his stuff again. It comes through as frustration, sadness, or like, oh, this big old house. Like I walk past my kids who have gone bedrooms every day and it makes me sad. And so it's like, okay, well, there's a void there and we need to fill that void with something else and perhaps repurpose at least one of those rooms, sorry kids, to do what you want to do in your next part of life, like a podcast or art or whatever it is, a reading nook.
Right. I mean, I've been in my house for 10 years now, and we thought we were going to move pre-pandemic and then just didn't.
Yeah.
And so I'm having that kind of shift now. It's like, okay, is our house still serving us?
Mhm.
My kids are bigger now, our needs are bigger, but we entertain a little bit less, I would say. So
Mhm.
now I'm like trying to go, but I'm stuck in, I really want to move. So we're doing things to like upgrade our house, which feels
Mhm.
really nice and feels really
Mhm.
fresh. So
Mhm.
how do I adjust to, I don't need to move. I just need to fix these little things? Or when do you decide it is actually time to move?
Right. Well, first of all, you're not doing the wrong thing because you're remodeling and updating the home. You'll get that money back. And so enjoy it a little while you're deciding. So if you remodel the right things like the kitchen, the bathrooms, add on a bathroom or a more living area, that just comes back to you in more money for the whole house. So that's not the wrong thing to do. When you really know it's time to move is like if you were to take the wheelhouse assessment, the shape of your wheel should not be a flat tire. So when you're grading your current home from 1 to 10, and if anything shows up as like a 2 or several things show up as a 2, that's a flat tire. So your remodel needs to fix it, or you need to plan ahead so that once so and so graduates school, or once I can work 3 days a week and not 5, we're going to downsize and travel, or we're going to downsize and get a second home that we can visit for long weekends, or whatever your next plan is that's going to make you happy. You just need to plan ahead for that.
So with moving and changing and growing, we're always evolving. How do you let go of a space that is no longer you?
That is hard to do for many people, especially if it involves like your children and your memories and your celebrations and things. So it's a matter of deciding what you want the next part of your life to look like. And like making a vision board so that vision is in your head and it starts to replace, oh gosh, I love all these memories and that I'm always going to have those, right? But now I'm going to start to make a vision of what my next stage of life is going to look like. And then you can get yourself excited about the beach walks or the mountain hiking or living in town and going to, museums and the stuff you weren't able to do in your prior life stage that you can now do, travel, whatever it is that you can now do. So it's just a matter of switching your focus and even having some sort of memory keeping and process to hold on to those memories and like, okay, we're going to have one last Christmas in this house, right? Or we're going to start to remodel and kind of take our personality out of the home so it feels more appealing to the next person. It's kind of whitewashed, if you will. And then you start dreaming of, I want the cottage look in my next home, or I want a big open modern with a view, or whatever it is, and start getting excited about the next thing.
I love that. We just moved. We were living by the ocean for 6 years, my husband longer, but walking distance to the beach, but tiny, tiny, tiny. And so we moved inland and now we have so much more space, which that alone is interesting to get used to. It still doesn't feel like home yet. I'm like, what do I put on all these walls? But it is incredible the difference of having an office for my husband. Like the stress in the house has gone so far down. And here we were excited but sad to leave the beach. But you're so right. It's just about looking at, okay, what do you gain? And I think it's also a really good time to just like kind of reinvent yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's like a fresh new chapter.
Yes, that's the best way to look at it. And I think some people just get stuck in the old mode and they still want to be a mom. Like we all love our kids, but guess what? They're not living there anymore. I can't barely get either one of my grown children to ever spend the night. They live here locally, so not so awful, but it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. Or like my career's done. I'm retired now, or I'm not in my 20s anymore. I don't really go to clubs. And so why am I living in the city? So like when you're 35 and you're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't live in the city anymore. Maybe I should move and get a yard or something.
Yeah.
So Chelsea and I are into lots of woo, energy,
Love
all
it.
the things.
Me too.
Okay, good. So give us some tangible things that can shift the energy of our house like instantly or on very little change.
Yeah. Well, first of all, clutter is, and that's not a woo-woo thing, but it is when I'm a firm advocate of how does that make you feel? Does it bring back a clothing? Does it cleaning out your closet? Does that remind you of like a mean boyfriend or an event you didn't have fun at or whatever, whatever. Does it have a bad feeling or is it just outdated? And like, I got my colors done recently and I was like, I can't wear hot pink. Did not know that. So I now have like a pile of the wrong color clothing. I'm like, that doesn't make me look good. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to give that away and somebody who's going to look good and that's going to wear it. So clutter's one thing. And then like I have sage in my desk drawer right here. And so, I mean, I do it in some houses if people have like an icky feeling in it. And, sometimes I'll sage, if someone comes to my home and I'm like, oh, that didn't feel great. I'll
That's
sage
good.
it. Let me get rid of
Yeah.
that.
We were
You
just
know?
talking about saging before you came on, just before we started recording, like, oh, I need to sage because we got new floors in our house. It's
Yes.
super exciting. So
Yes.
I got to just get all the bad stuff out.
Totally.
Yeah,
And
totally.
then the third one really is like, who are you? Like, does your home reflect you or so I believe the home is a representation of your soul and obviously more than one person lives in a home. So does each person have a space to feel comfortable in the home? And do you recognize, like my husband is like a winter, he's got beautiful blue eyes and tan and he can wear those like bright blues and which look horrible on me. So when I moved in, we both got remarried to each other. And when I moved in with him, I was like, I got to get some green in here. Like, I'll start off with plants. It'll be very subtle.
Yep.
But I got to get some warm colors in here because that's what I thrive in. So like I have pink pillows and feminine stuff in my office. I have a Zen den across the way. And he is a huge lazy boy he's a big man, he's tall. So he's a huge lazy boy, and that's his personality. So like to me, are there elements in your home that represent you? And when people walk in, are they like, this home is so you?
It's interesting when you say it that way. You're like, okay, does everybody have a certain thing that fits their personality within the home? And that makes such a difference. And sometimes you do that without knowing.
Yeah.
But calling it out like that is kind of interesting to just take inventory if that's happening in your home.
And you may have a creative child, which I was, that think differently. So I would have little piles of projects. And if they got put away, that would just kill the whole project because I would forget about it and it would never get finished. Right. And so you have to have space for your creative people to like put their projects just on a shelf, but not away. And then for the neater people in the home, they like everything organized. So that more creative, messy person needs to realize that they can't leave their project on the kitchen table and just expect everyone to be happy about that. And so I think it's just recognizing each other's personalities.
Okay. So before us reading the book, of course, we all want to order it, get our hands on that and go through all of it. What would be one thing you would recommend to us and to everyone listening that they can do today to be more aligned in their space and to find their wheelhouse?
Well, again, it starts with myself. And I would just want to say, hit the pause button. And the way I started this process is I took a personality test because I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be an accountant. And like, I think I'm extroverted. So I took it and I'm an ENFP on the Myers-Briggs. And then I started like, oh gosh, I need to be around people. I shouldn't be out in this remote thing. And like, I'm not a numbers person and I'm probably more creative. So like, how are you going to set up your environment to match who you are? So starts like, what did I like to do when I was little? So take a personal inventory of your values and the things you're not doing you want to do and the things you're doing you don't want to do. Start and then set up your environment to eliminate people and things you don't want around you and start to add in what makes you happy, including people.
I love it.
Who you surround yourself with
Mm-hmm.
brings that energy, makes such a difference too, because we talk about that all the time on here, is who you're around, the environment you're living in. It all makes sense what you're saying. It makes such a difference.
So important.
Is there anything else that you would want to tell our listeners about the book or anything we haven't covered just yet on Wheelhouse, on creating energy in your space, just anything else that we haven't touched on?
Gosh, I think really don't be afraid to try things because sometimes people are like, I don't really know who I am. I just did what everybody told me to do up until now. So like, who am I anyway? So I would just say, give yourself a little time, try some things out, see what makes you feel good, like where you feel like you're in your genius zone or the things you're not so good at and what you don't enjoy. And just, it's okay to make some mistakes and be like, well, now I know what I don't like. So I'll try the next thing. It's okay.
And do you think Pinterest is a great like
Oh, yeah.
inspiration
I love
area,
the
right?
visual of Pinterest.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything
And you can
else that
take a
you'd recommend?
personality test online. There's so many free ones. And it's not the Bible. I mean, it never fits anyone completely, but it's a good place to start.
I like that though, because it kind of shakes you up from just seeing what everyone else is doing. You know,
Yes.
a lot of times, like I'm not an interior designer by any means. So then it's like I end up just doing what I see. Then I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if that resonates with me. So
Right.
I love the idea of fusing the two, the personality test, and then, you
Yeah.
know, getting the inspiration. So it's more
Yes.
authentic. I mean, same thing as
I've
like
actually,
personal style.
yes, I've actually never heard that of like take a personality
No.
test for your home.
Yeah. Yeah. To know like, well, I'm an introvert. I guess I need a little book nook or a workshop, you know, whatever. If that's whatever you like to do, if you're good with your hands, like there are types that are more engineering. My brother is one and he has a wood shop. And so it's like he's retired now, but he gets to use those skills in a fun way and he gives them as gifts to people. I'm like that. There you are, living in your wheelhouse.
Yes.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you make your clients take personality tests? I feel
I
like that
don't
would be
make
really helpful.
them.
Yeah.
I
Suggest.
it's like it's not a prerequisite. And sometimes I just guess what they are, and I'm like, "Hey, are you a?" And they're like, "How did you know?" Because I just observe a little bit. Like he's very logical. He's super good with numbers. He's very strategic. I think he's an ISTJ. You know, like opposite of me, which I'm good with numbers because I had to be. But and so I'm like, I need to pull those numbers out of my hat and communicate with this person.
That's pretty impressive. You can do both because usually I'm definitely an extrovert and I'm not good with numbers. And it's, you know, I don't think I could fake it with the numbers. So you've got quite the range. That's very impressive.
I don't know, Chelsea. I mean, you were amazing at all your sales jobs, including
Yeah.
real estate, including all
I've
your sales.
hired people to do the numbers.
Yeah.
I
Or you
don't
know what? Just do them for 1 or 2 hours a day. I was
Yeah.
doing it for 8 hours a day. Had a total
Yeah.
headache because
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be using the left side of my brain as much as that.
What's your favorite personality test?
I like the Myers-Briggs,
Myers-Briggs.
MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. And I
Okay.
also love the Enneagram.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Myers-Briggs is kind of like what you were born with, I think. And Enneagram goes back to like what in your childhood, what coping mechanisms did you create in your childhood based on your experiences? And that's how you kind of go through life.
got it.
I think we'll include those in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
Everyone should take this. I'm going to do
Yeah.
it.
They're a free one.
Totally. Okay. Where can we find you? Where can we get the book?
Yes. So the book's everywhere. Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble. If you want some free stuff, like I have a masterclass that I filmed and, you know, all this other extra things at liveinyourwheelhousebook.com.
Okay.
And so you get free masterclass and all from me. So on the like on Instagram and all the social medias, I'm Kim E. Costa, and you can find me everywhere there.
Amazing.
So, Kim, we named this podcast the Bright Side Up Podcast. And so we always like to ask our guests, how do you live your life bright side up?
I lean into my genius zone. Like when I write or create stories, whether it's on Riverside or podcast, or I am at my best when I am either talking with somebody about who they are, and I just see their potential and I make a story in my head about how they could live their best life, or I'm writing, and usually it's always about people and it's a story that I make up, or it's my clients and I've hidden their names and mixed things so people can't tell who it is. But I love telling a story. And so that just makes me light up. Yeah. So it's like I'm on another planet. And if you come in and interrupt me while I'm writing deep in my zone, it's almost like, what time is it and where am I?
I love it.
I mean, finding your genius zone is not to be something to overlook. So, I mean, Chelsea and I, we teach group fitness, and we were just talking about that last week on the podcast. Chelsea, remember? We were like,
Thank you,
when we're
guys.
teaching,
Thank
we
you.
feel so aligned when we're teaching, and it's like that must be our genius zone. I think we
it is, and thank God it is. It is not mine. I just have to show up and do what someone tells me to do, and I'm so thankful for you guys.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for carving out this time to spend with us. There's so many good takeaways, and I am going to jump and do my personality test immediately and then order the book and go through all the steps. So we'll definitely report back to you.
I would love that. I want to hear what you are because it fascinates me.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.